I think they don't mind him being back if it's at a cheaper price, but I think the word want is too strong. From everything that I've been told, first of all, you have no choice but to respect him. He's one of the greatest players to have ever lived. And he did help bring a championship to their squad, even though it was in a bubble. I respect it, but a lot of people don't. But I have no problem with it. Championship is championship.
Chip.
Right? You got a chip. But I do think that along the way, before Luka arrived, there was a level of carte blanche that he knew he had, that in his own way he may have exercised in their eyes.
Yeah.
And as a result, they got a bit annoyed and turned off by it. So the opportunity to get Luka wasn't just because he's great, but because he was also younger.
Yeah.
And he had a longer period where you can look forward to him being a Laker, whereas LeBron is scheduled to retire in a year now.
Right.
And you were ready for the future to belong to somebody else. And it's not a knock against LeBron, because if it was, I wouldn't hesitate to knock it. But it's not. But this is reality. You're not Kobe. You're not somebody that started out there and was there from day one.
Right. Yep.
You know, the Lakers, even though they listen, they even treated Shaq differently than they treated Kobe. Magic, Kobe, you know, cats that were there from the beginning and stayed there. The Lakers historically look at them a little bit differently than they look like a transplant who they've inherited.
Right.
So because of that, if you combine that with this feeling that you really exercising your cachet, there's going to be some resentment. And they may not want you to leave, but they certainly wanted to diminish the supposed power you either thought or actually had.
Okay. From what I hear, what I see, what I believe, I don't think the Lakers wanted LeBron back before this season. It was his option to return at $50-ish million.
Right.
And so they couldn't stop him from returning. But here's what nobody talks about that I believe they full well know, starting with the GM and Jeannie obviously at the top.
Okay.
LeBron James, since that Mickey Mouse championship that you spoke of, it was a pandemic.
Stop the Mickey
Okay,
Mouse.
well, it was a pandemic. I know you say it's a chip, but it's a pandemic championship in the bubble when most teams didn't want to be there after a while. So he won it by default. So I give you that. It does count. You get the big trophy and all that. But
I'll say something about it in a second.
It's an asterisk. Go ahead. Just say.
You know what I want to say?
Okay.
I want to say, because this is very important, I don't think people brought this up. I don't delegitimize the championship. Chip is the chip. You won it. And I give them a lot of credit, because to be in that damn bubble and to want to stay, to want to win it, I mean, those were some tough times. That's a once-in-a-century situation.
Okay, but you're the last team standing.
I feel you on that, but
okay,
what I'm saying is you deserve a lot of credit for being competitive and
Yeah.
wanting to do it under those conditions.
Yep.
Number one. Here's the only argument that I believe people can make against the Lakers and the legitimacy of the chip. And nobody has brought this up that I've heard. You can't, it's impossible for you to assume that Anthony Davis would have been available for you if they had to play an 82-game season. If the season had never been halted and there wasn't a four-month hiatus, and you had to go through the season nonstop, Anthony Davis, the belief was Anthony Davis wouldn't have been available for you.
Well,
so that is legitimate.
LeBron, at an advanced age, got 4 months off before the bubble.
Yeah,
right?
but what I'm saying is LeBron has earned the trust of basketball lovers everywhere to be able to say what we saw in the finals, what we saw in the playoffs in the bubble, we would have seen from him in the playoffs in April, May, and June. Anthony Davis hadn't, because we had not seen him be available.
Right.
And there were question marks. I mean, no, we weren't as extreme as Charles Barkley. You understand, who called them street clothes. But there's a lot of people that were feeling you would have seen them in street clothes. So because that period gave you the reprieve necessary in order for him to be available, you could make an argument that wouldn't have happened if the season hadn't been interrupted. That's it.
Here's what the Laker brass knows that no one ever talks about. Since that Mickey Mouse championship, LeBron James and company, 12 and 20 in postseason games. For him individually, that's the worst winning percentage of any active player in the postseason, 12 and 20. And over the last 3 years, LeBron and company, 2 and 12 in the postseason. And listen, this man has been a disappearing act in the fourth quarters of the last 3 years of playoff runs, 2 of them very quick and short. But even if we go back to the Denver, they got to the conference championship. They got swept by Denver, and Denver's on its way to winning it all. But in those 4 fourth quarters, LeBron shot 7 of 23 and 1 of 10 from 3. And during that series, he set an NBA record for missed consecutive fourth quarter threes of 20 in a row. He missed 20 straight threes in the fourth quarters of those Denver games. And I know for a fact the Laker brass was not happy with that performance. That's when Austin Reeves almost saved it for him, because he's the one you can trust.
Well, I recently saw this stat where three-pointers made or missed with like less than 5 seconds left in regulation or overtime. LeBron was like 0 for 17. So it's like, but we're not judging LeBron on three-point shots like he's Steph Curry or Klay Thompson.
Right.
So we got to remember that.
Okay, I got it.
Secondly, let's analyze. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, one of those playoff losses were the Phoenix Suns when Chris Paul and them were there.
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
Okay.
They missed the playoffs thereafter.
That was in 6 games.
They missed the playoffs thereafter. Then after that, Darvin Ham's your coach. You get to the conference.
They
finals.
did. And they
It
got
was
swept.
Jokic, but it was Jokic.
It
he
was.
ran against, okay? And then when they lost in the first round of next year, it was Jokic.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like who you lost
But
to
you went down
matters.
in 5, but
who,
go ahead.
Who you lost to matters.
All right.
You lose last year. Ant-Man. And Rudy, and let's bring this up. The Los Angeles Lakers were so pathetic defensively. Rudy Gobert looked like the second coming of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He did?
I mean, think about that. I mean, I'm just saying, like there are, like, to know basketball, which I know you know, where Skip and I would argue is that, once again, I'm bringing up a nugget, so I'm helping you out here, okay?
Yeah.
One of the nuggets is to attack his perspective. Let me tell you something, my brother. This man is a master at leaving out the points that will hurt his argument. He does it on purpose. He knows. You're not surprising him. It's not like I'm going to bring up something and to surprise him. The smirk on his face is when you catch him. Is when you go like this. I know you think you're slick, right? So we bring this stuff up because I just finished saying to you, Rudy Gobert looked like the second coming of Kareem. If that was his Spurs, he'd have had that argument. But because it's against LeBron and the Lakers, he conveniently has amnesia. And he leaves that out. This is what you do when you're going up against Skip Bayless. You got to anticipate and listen. Listen, you can't do one or the other. You got to do both. You got to know it. And then when he comes with his argument, right, you got to pay attention to everything that he says and know what he leaves out. There are 10 things that he may have. He know 3 of them ain't gonna cut the mustard. And he leaves them out on purpose. And his whole thing is, I gave you 7 things that supports my argument. It ain't my damn problem if you don't forget the 3 that's gonna hurt me.
Exactly.
That's him. That's him. And I would sit up there literally sit up there and I go like this. What's he gonna leave out? What's he gonna leave out? And I'd wait for it. That's how you do it.
Okay, let's see if you know what I'm leaving out, because I'm going to spit 3 facts out of 7 to you right now.
Cool.
They got swept at home in the conference finals. In the closeout game at Staples, LeBron James had 2 chances to tie the game with the clock ticking down to 0, and neither shot touched the rim.
This is last year against Minnesota?
What's
saying
that?
This is last year against Minnesota?
No, it was against Denver when they got swept.
Got you.
That's the first time.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Then the next year, they have to play at Denver in games 1 and 2. In the fourth quarter of the first game, he pouts the whole fourth quarter and won't shoot because he thought he took too much criticism over his failure, his epic failure against Denver the year before. Game 2 at Denver, he's got a wide open three-pointer. He did the little Jordan push-off move on Brian Russell. On Jamal, just pushed him out of the way and wound up with a wide open 3 to win the game. It was 16 seconds left, but it would have given him a 3-point lead, and he lubricated. The man was born without a clutch gene. Then last year against the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's 1-1 going to game 3, 1-1. Go look. I won't bore you with all the details in games 3, 4, and 5. Go look what happened to him and Luka. Luka was just as bad, but it was criminal how LeBron disappeared in the 3 straight fourth quarters, and they lost in 5 games.
So listen, once again, he's not wrong. Everything he just said was totally true.
Kaboom.
But didn't we see LeBron James show up in the Game 7 against your San Antonio Spurs when he dropped 37 and 15? I think so. Is it just about...
we were shot in the heart by Ray Allen.
But in Game 6,
it was the greatest clutch shot I've ever seen.
There was still a Game 7.
I know, but they couldn't even show up. They couldn't even get up off the mat.
Well, you shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have put the tape around the arena and try and get the champagne and
the fans are fleeing into the night. The Heat fans.
You did it too. All of y'all was feeling yourselves, and you forgot that Ray Allen was still his teammate, and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Those was. And notice how you didn't bring up how Popovich benched Tim Duncan,
he did.
which enabled
right.
Bosh to get the offensive rebound and kick it out to Ray Allen. Why did Greg Popovich do that? You didn't mention that, but I ain't gonna go there. The point that I'm trying to make to you is there's always issues to bring up. I'm saying to you, when you say LeBron doesn't have the clutch gene, this is not a James Harden kind of inexplicable stuff that we're looking at where you shooting 25 a game and then a Game 7 arrives and you don't want to shoot the ball.
Yeah, LeBron's more late game.
LeBron is not a shooter. LeBron is a scorer, but he's not a shooter.
I know, but he's the greatest scorer in the history of the league, and he's a lousy shooter.
It's 2 things. He's not the greatest scorer in the history of the league. There's several scorers that have been more prolific.
But I mean, to your point, on longevity. Right?
The longevity.
Yeah, that's right.
The longevity, not efficiency. No. So let's understand something. LeBron James is going to be hesitant with his J. Most importantly, with free throws.
Oh,
that's really what gets
Lord
him in trouble.
have mercy.
He is not a confident person at the free throw line.
Right.
He is going to be career 73, 74% free throw shooter. He is not going to be that guy. We get that part. But there are other things, like when he blocked Andre Iguodala's shot. It ain't always about scoring. It's about plays. Where his confidence dissipates is when you force him to shoot a perimeter shot or send him to the free throw line in money time. That's not his strength. That's not his strength. We all know that. Well, I ain't going all that, but that's him. He's not a shooter. That's what, like, again, I don't judge him like that.
Okay.
So, again, there have been times when he hasn't shown up, but there's been times when he has.
Okay, but the Iggy block, it's the all-time greatest block in the history of blocks. It's a blindside chase down block, and it's a hustle block. I give you that. He didn't give up on the play.
Right.
But remember, J.R. Smith undercuts Iggy, who's about to dunk it, and he had to take another dribble.
So you're just going to ignore the fact that LeBron was damn near at the top of the backboard.
Okay,
blocked the shot. I mean, you're just going to ignore that.
I know
Everybody
he can
can't
do that. I know he can get a running start, full court, like he's run full court as fast as he can run. 6'9", 260, and he launches from the free throw line. Yeah, he could probably touch the top of the backboard. But the point was, it's an ambush block. It's like Iggy had to redo his dribble, and then he's just going to lay it off the glass, and he got it.
There's only one skip, baby.
But is that a great block?
The things, I mean,
okay,
you're
but
the
wait a
only
second.
person on the planet that's complaining about the block.
Okay, but is it a man-sized block? Is it a face-to-face where I just made you eat the basketball? No.
But it is something that most humans can't pull off because they can't get up that damn high.
Okay, I got that, but...
And they don't have the hustle in them to get down there and make that kind of terrific play.
Okay, so it's a hustle block. I give you that.
Well, give it. Doesn't it matter?
But
doesn't hustle matter as opposed to somebody being like, have you not seen enough lackadaisical individuals that shortchange you with effort, even in big moments, to appreciate the moment? Listen, man, I ain't want to defend no damn LeBron James, but the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
The brother does. I mean, listen, he's going to go down in the Mount Rushmore of basketball, man. I mean, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. You cannot say definitively that when it comes to all around, I'm not talking about clutch gene because Skip knows I've said this. I would pick Larry Bird in the last 2 minutes of a game before I picked LeBron James. In the last 2 minutes. But I picked LeBron for the first 46. You see what I'm saying? Because he's a man-child. All I'm trying to say to you is that all-around game, offense, defense, everything that comes with what it takes to win at the NBA level, LeBron James is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball.
But for
top 4.
All 48 minutes, I'm taking Michael Jordan over anybody, including LeBron. LeBron.
So am I. So am I. I mean, listen, that everybody knows how I feel about Michael Jordan. Ain't no disputing that. There's nothing to talk about. 10-time scoring champion, 9-time All-NBA first team, All-Defense. You're the 5-time league MVP. I mean, my God, 6 finals MVPs, unblemished in MVP. Never even allowed the finals to go to a 7th game. Ever.
Greatest
Ever.
clutch
There's nothing.
performance ever.
And clutch performance, I hope it. No question.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan is clearly the GOAT. But LeBron James is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball.
Okay, we finally agreed on something.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was
It is.
this was a masterclass. I want to
It was,
thank you so
man.
much
Yeah.
because I wrote this down in my head because I can't wait to have arguments with you now and know I'm looking for what you left
Now
out.
you've
really-
exposed
Had
me,
to tell
man.
him.
Yeah.
You exposed me. You gave away all my tricks.
Things are going to get even better
Yeah.
here on the arena, let me tell you. But you're a legend. What you guys have done together is legendary.
He is a legend, and we do appreciate your presence.
Yes.